So today I thought that I would talk about something that has been on my mind for quite a while, but recently on YouTube something went down, nothing really huge, but just something small basically. And then it migrated to Twitter, so I thought I'd talk about it, in a video, because why not? Now the topic in question is My Hero Academia overhyped? A very interesting topic, right? Especially for someone like me who would typically, at least, milk My Hero Academia a lot because I love the series for very biased reasons. I'm not saying this is the best written series in the world or anything. I'm just saying, it's my favorite series, and when people say it's overhyped, I do get quite stirred up. Well, not emotionally, but something in some way. I don't fucking know which way it is, but I do know I am affected somehow, and I thought because of that, let's just ask the question: is My Hero Academia overhyped? I'm not saying overrated, mind you, I'm saying overhyped. And my answer to the question would be no. My Hero Academia is not overhyped. Well, the series is not overhyped, but you could argue the anime specifically is. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. I want to talk about why the anime is overhyped and why the series as a whole, that is the manga, isn't. So starting with the anime and why it is overhyped. Now understand that I'm talking season 1 and season 2, not season 3 that is about to premiere in a few weeks. I'm talking previously, season 1 and season 2, and why these seasons are ridiculously overhyped. The reason is because people, and I'm talking a lot of people here, like a lot of YouTubers, and whatever it may be, they jump on the bandwagon of reacting to the series, having no idea about the series, and they act like it's the greatest thing they've ever seen. But reality is that what season 1 and season 2 covers, it just doesn't cover anything that deserves that hype. In my opinion, I feel like, what season 1 covers is simply an introduction to the story, and season 2, it kicks things up a little bit, especially in the second core, but at the end of the day, you don't get anything absolutely crazy. You get introduced to some new villains and you get a taste in what's going to go down later on in the series, but you're really not getting anything major. Nothing huge is actually going on, even in season 2, and still people who react, they're going crazy over this stuff. Like, I'm talking, people are like jumping out of their chairs when they're seeing a fight. Let's say, for instance, Deku versus Todoroki. It's not really a bad fight or anything, but given the fights we're going to be seeing in the future and, fights from other series, that fight simply just doesn't compare. So why is the manga or the series as a whole not overhyped? Because as I said, only the anime could really be classed as being overhyped. You don't necessarily have to believe that yourself. I mean, maybe you don't. This is just my take on it, okay? But the reason why the series as a whole isn't is because, well, you don't really see every week, when you go on the internet, you go on YouTube every Friday, whenever the chapters happen to drop, you don't see a million live reactions going on like you do with the anime on a Saturday. Because comparing those two, you can really see the difference between anime reactions and manga reactions. They're just nowhere near each other, and that's facts. And if you look at sales and stuff like that, you can really see that, compared to some other series, My Hero Academia is not like always second to One Piece or anything. It's not that big, so no, it's not overhyped. It's not even overrated either, because if it was, well, you'd be seeing a difference between popularity and sales and stuff like that. But a lot of people, and I think this is why the anime gets overhyped a lot, by the way, and that is because looking at some of the reactors, they probably react to, One Piece, they react to Dragon Ball Super and some other series too. They're mainly reacting to fighting shonen, battle shonen series, and they think, okay, we're gonna react to My Hero Academia because it's a shonen. It's kind of a battle shonen when you think about it. It's probably classed as one, but one has to remember that My Hero Academia is not centered around fighting. It really isn't. I mean, yes, it has fights, it's still a battle shonen, but fighting is just one of the many elements that you're gonna get going into My Hero Academia. And I think a lot of people, because of that, whenever a fight happens to be good, as opposed to just having people talk in an episode or whatnot, you're gonna be getting some crazy, you're gonna get some pumped up reactions simply because it's something that doesn't happen every 2 minutes. You don't see a fight every 2 minutes in My Hero Academia, whereas in, let's say, Dragon Ball Super, the Tournament of Power, you have a fight going on all the time, so the reactions probably probably aren't as crazy. Now, I don't really like comparing My Hero Academia to other series, but I'm just giving another example of reactions because we know both of those series has, at least when My Hero Academia is airing, it, you know, the number of reactions are just crazy. So long story short, I guess you could dumb it down to, I think the anime is ridiculously overhyped because bandwagoning. That's really the gist of it, you know. You have a lot of people jumping onto the series just to react, to see what it's about, and then it happens to turn out that they like the series and I want to keep reacting to it every week, you know. So that's where a lot of the popularity for the anime specifically comes, but then they might not even care about anime in general, you know. I've seen a lot of reactors, you know, they just react to a certain anime because it's popular, and then after the series is over, they don't really care about it at all, which is fine, you know. Everyone has their own taste and all. But that's really all I wanted to really say with this. I just wanted to point out why I think the anime is possibly overhyped, but the series really isn't, because the manga doesn't really get that treatment, whereas the anime does. Especially given that the anime, as I said, hasn't really reached that peak hype as, you know, in the manga we've seen some pretty interesting things. Now, I'm not really saying that My Hero Academia has gotten that crazy hype going all the time. It really doesn't. It's a rather laid-back series as far as shonen goes. It really is telling the story of a school class, so you have to understand that it's not going to be, you know, a full-on war all the time like in some other series, or you know, in Dragon Ball's case, you know, they just fight because why the fuck not? And finally, I kind of wanted to say that I don't really have a problem with reaction channels. I'm just saying I think that's why people say the anime or the series is overhyped, because we have a lot of people jumping onto the series. But in reality, I really don't mind people reacting to the series, because at the end of the day, at least a small number of those people may jump onto the manga, in which case I'm just really happy, because seeing people move on to the manga from the anime, it's really something, you know. We need the series to grow, even if it's just gradually. You know, when season 3 kicks in, we're definitely gonna get some more people jumping onto the manga, just because of how interesting the story is currently, or at least the previous arc was really interesting, and people are gonna wanna jump on to see what that is about, because season 3 is gonna end just before that. Anyway, with that said, I'll end the video here because, well, I just want to know what you guys think about My Hero Academia. Like, do you think, much like me, that only the anime is possibly overhyped and that the manga really isn't? Or do you think the entire series is overhyped? That's perfectly fine. You might click on this video, not really being a huge fan of the series. You know, it's all up to you. And as always, if you did, be sure to Detroit smash that like button if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new to my channel. This has been Chaotic Plus, and remember everyone, Toga is waifu, Toga is lifu.